The Digital Inclusion Fund is a Barnwell Trust funding programme to support disabled people and people with mental health conditions to help them to make more of the opportunities available through the digital world. And we funded a range of projects across Gloucestershire for up to 3 years. All of them are intended to help disabled people to engage with the online world. We built their skills and confidence and help them to get online. And that's especially important when you think that these days, quite often the only way to access some key services is by going online. It was inspired by a piece of research called Digital Divides, which we carried out at the time of the pandemic, looking into disabled people and their online experience. We discovered that disabled people are more likely than others to be digitally excluded, meaning there are barriers which make it hard for them not just to access services online, but also to do the things that other people often take for granted, like keeping up with family and friends or doing online shopping. And then we also found that disabled people were often reluctant to go online, and that was partly because they were concerned about being targeted by online scammers and criminals. I think there have been 2 achievements that we're especially proud of. The first was that we involved experts with lived experience of disability in the decision making and in awarding the funding. And that worked really well, and we're now beginning to do the same with our other funding programmes. And we feel that that's really helping us to be more accountable to disabled people in Gloucestershire. And then the second achievement was working with Stroud Beresford Group, and their project was to provide phones and tablets for survivors of domestic abuse, and this would enable them to go online safely without fear that they were going to be stalked by former abusive partners. And that's been really important, not only in managing their mental health, but also in helping them to take back control of their own lives. Well, one way that we've created change with this programme, and this was something that surprised us, was that for many disabled people, their need was actually really simple. People asked us for help in accessing the World Wide Web, in using Google, and in setting up an email account for the first time. And helping people with what seemed to be very basic steps was really the way that this programme has made the biggest difference to people's lives. This was a 3-year funding programme which comes to an end in September. Well, that doesn't mean that we're no longer interested in digital inclusion. We'll still be supporting some of our partners across the county with other projects. For example, Forest Voluntary Action Forum with their digital network across the forest, and Gloucestershire County Council with a large-scale digital infrastructure project that they're leading on. But also, some of the organisations that we funded through the Digital Inclusion Fund have since gone on to become long-term funded partners for us. So we are continuing to fund the work that they do, including helping to make the digital world more accessible for disabled people and people with mental health conditions across the whole of Gloucestershire.